Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining today's session. Today, it's all about reports, and reporting is definitely one of the most essential tools that you will have in your box. You're probably here because you have been a good amount of done, as we say, in your Talent LMS setup. You have set up your account, you have created content, you have added the users, and you have already provided perhaps some training to them. So it's time to see the results. It's time to see what you have achieved. Let's do that together and let's see all about reports. My name is Theo. I am part of the customer education team. And today we will be able to give you an overview of Talent LMS, and it's going to be all about data. I'm not alone though. As always, I have great company with me.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mary. I'm the Customer Education Manager. And today I will help Theo with his presentation and you deliver successful training. You should know that the session is going to be recorded, so you will all get a copy once it's over. And at the end, we will have a live Q&A session. So you can start using the button actually now if you want to, because we have one more person with us.
Hi everyone, I'm Elizabeth. I'm also part of the customer education team, and I'm here to help answer your questions and provide you with some useful tips as well.
That's right. And let's get started with a little bit of an overview of what we're going to talk about today. Today, we will see how you can track your training progress and see your efforts turning into great results. And we will be able to do that as an admin, as an instructor, and as a learner. So we will see how admins are able to export and share the progress of their learners and how they can create presentation-ready infographics. And then we will switch to instructor and we will see how you can track the results of the courses that you are delivering as an instructor. And of course, never forget about the learners. We will be able to see as well how the learners can check their own progress alone. So if you're ready, let's get started and let's jump into the platform here. So you should be able to have a familiar version of Talent LMS like we do. This is the administrator's dashboards. And since most of us today are administrators, I'm pretty sure that you have seen that before. We will go straight to reports. So click on the reports icon at the bottom left, and we will start exploring everything that you can see on this specific page. The first thing that you see when you click on the reports is the overview. That is the training overview as it is right now as we speak. And you can see the number of active users, the number of users that have not logged in ever, the assigned courses that you have, and the completed courses. So far, it's okay. We can definitely have a little bit more, well, let's say consistent help or anything that we could assist those users to log in a little bit more, but we can talk later at how you can interact with the users. But overall, you can play around with the different options regarding time, and you can even set your own specific period of time here. One of the key features that we have in most of our reports is the fact that you can export, you can download the training progress here. And that will be an Excel file that you can download for all of the reports that you see in this specific page. And then we have another button as well, and that is the schedule button. So you can click on the arrow there, and you can click on schedule to automate the distribution of the reports. Because you can always download the Excel file and send it manually to people, but what if you could do that as a schedule? So click schedule, and you can set a specific period of time, for example, let's say every week on Friday, to have these reports sent to you or to people that need to receive it with you as well. So we're going to switch the slider here to 1 week, and then we can select which day. We said Friday, so Friday it is. If you click schedule here, you will be able to receive this report weekly on Friday at the email that you have declared into your account. But if you want to share it, let's say, for example, with HR, maybe with your executive board, maybe with stakeholders, with investors, with anybody that has asked you to see specific results, click on the custom recipients here, and you can put anybody else's email address that you want to receive the report. Just separate them with a space and continue adding the email addresses of the people you need to use. Don't worry if these people are not part of your Talent LMS account. They will be able to still receive the reports, and they will be able to just get the same exact results. They will be BCC'd, so nobody will know if the person next to them has the same results as well. And if you also want to add your own email as well, do it and you will receive the reports along with them. So to summarize, The schedule will allow you to be completely independent from sending reports to people. You want to go on holiday, you have a couple of days off, you have important meetings that will not allow you time to download and send manually the reports. That's what the schedule is for. And let's get started with the first report that we see on the right. Let's go to the user reports, one of the most popular ones, because this is where you can see at a glimpse what all of your users are doing. And from the top, you can see that you have the number of learners, the course assignments, the courses that have been completed, the ones in progress, and your overall training time as well. And before we even move forward, you can still use this specific row here with the titles of the columns as a way to filter the results. For example, if you click on the completed courses first, you will immediately be able to see and identify the high potential workers, who is more active, who takes more training and completes more training. And if you do the same on the assigned courses here, you can see as well who has completed, who has been assigned the most courses and who needs more attention because maybe people might not have been assigned any courses. So with that said, let me just find this user, Kate Alex here. Let's go into the course and into the report basically of the user. And here you will be able to see at a glimpse what this user's dashboard is. For example, the courses in progress or the courses that have been completed, training time, gamification statistics, a great way to engage your users. And the export button. And if you click, the schedule button as well. And then you can always just go to the courses that this user has. And again, you will be able to see the progress. Kate here has completed a lot of courses, but then you can see that she has stopped halfway through in some of them. So it's a good idea to talk to her and see why she has not completed those courses. Is it the contents? Is it the time that she might have not to complete the training? What is the issue here? And you can see more of the details about this user's progress in those courses. Let's leave the user reports and let's go back to our main page of the courses and we will have a look at the course reports. And this is again, something that will help you see specific reports about specific courses and gather the data that you need. So by now that should be familiar, right? You have the dashboard with a quick set of statistics to get you going, and then you can choose again, whichever course you might want to have. For example, let's go on this one, the behavior-based safety. It's part of our compliance series, so 6 people have completed it. Let's go in the report. And at a glance, you can see the leaderboard again. You can click on the different time options and get the relevant results in the graph as well. But what we want to do here is something different. We're not going to see the results within TalentLMS. We will click to export this in Excel. So you see now that on my screen, there's a downloadable file here. So I'm just going to click on it and it will open with my spreadsheet editor. So in this case, that's going to be numbers. So you open it up. I'm just going to make this larger. Hope you can see. And you see the exact set of data that you would see in TalentLMS as well. So the users, their email, the role, the status, the completion date of the course, the time that they have spent, the score, and those that have already taken the certification that you have associated with the course. Now you will be able to click and download the certification of the user. So try to download the reports at least at the beginning when you start using the report feature in TalentLMS, because most of the times you will be able to access data without being part of TalentLMS or of the account that you are looking at the moment. And a good example of having that in use is this. Let's say that you have compliance courses, for example, security courses for devices, procedural course in the company, anything that people need to be audited for and anything that people need to present results for. So instead of inviting the auditors or anybody who will do the regulatory check in your TalentLMS account, you can export that report, you can send that to the auditing body or to anybody that will perform the check. And not only they can see that the users have completed the course, but they can really access the certifications themselves. So nobody will ever think that there's even a user that is not certified by you in that specific content. And with that said, I'm going to go back to reports and pass the mic to Mary for more reports that we can explore.
Thanks, Theo. We just watched how you can get individual reports on users and course specifically, but what if you're using branches? And if you're new to this, don't worry. Branches is a great feature in case you would like to train your department separately, or you have different customers that you would like to train, or even partners. So you would like to keep these audiences separate. And that's why we also have reports that we can see per branch, how people perform in their own branch. You can see on that list all the brands that I have created so far, how many assigned users there are, and the completion rate from the courses that they have been assigned to that branch, how many of the courses are completed. Let's click on the first one. I don't see very good numbers here. So what's going on? You can see I have just 8 active users, 2 never have logged in. So this is a specific branch for a company I have created. I can, of course, export the report one more time and schedule. You will hear this a lot in this webinar. I can see the actual users, click on the courses tab, but I'm not very happy with the results. So what you can get from branch reports is that you can see the performance in training for specific departments. And we can also look for the causes and talk perhaps to the head of the department, because each branch can have its own administrator. When you know a situation, when you know that something is happening with a specific group of people, you can detect much easier the bottlenecks and the risks for your business. So this is what you get in branch reports.
And that is a really good way to organize your account using branches, especially if you are offering training to different audiences, like Mary said, customers, clients, internal training, distributors. But also you can use groups, and that is a great way to mass assign courses to people. And groups can really help you not only to provide the right training, for example, based on departments or based on specific training like compliance training, but also you can see nice reports because we have dedicated group reports to track the results of that people. So you see here in the same fashion as branches, the overall groups you have, the assigned users, the courses that completed, the ones in progress. You see all of the details that you have here, but also you can track who is the most achievable rates, which are the people that have spent more time here. And talking about compliance, it's a very sensitive topic. Everybody needs to be compliant at all times, and training really helps with that. So here in my compliance group, I can see that from the 14 assigned users, 51% almost have completed. So it's good. Let's go in and explore the results together. So again, 14 active users, one has never logged in. It's not too bad. We will talk to them a little bit later. Assigned courses, 49, 25 completed. So we're at a good scale at this point. Export and schedule. I know you've heard that already too many times. And then in the users, you can see all of the people, and you can even extend this with the arrow down to go to more results. You can see all of the people that belong into that specific group, their user type, their last login, and the location. The location is a custom user fields. In the account settings, you can create custom user fields, so that way you can have extra information for the users. And if you choose to have that field visible in reports, you can see that being present in all of the reports that have user data in it. And then you can also go to the courses, and you can see all of the courses that belong into that specific group, the assigned learners, and the completed. So everything goes good, but this is a course that we need to pay a little bit more attention later. But it's a great way to use the group reports just to track the departments, the group that might be left behind, or the ones that might need to be praised for the results that they have achieved. So going back into the reports again, we have seen reports about the users, the courses, the branches, and the groups. But you might be wondering, do we have reports about types of content that people complete? Yes, and we will start with SCORM reports here. SCORM is a great way if you would like to create interactive courses. And you can create your SCORM files outside of TalentLMS in dedicated authoring software. And then whatever you export from that software, you can always upload it in TalentLMS and have SCORM files as part of your courses. We have dedicated reports here for the test, for the quizzes that you can put into those SCORM files. So let's click on that. And here we can see all of the SCORM files, the units that you have uploaded in TalentLMS, and the course that those units belong. So I'm going to click on this one on allocating tasks and setting priorities. It's part of the project management course. As you see, 2 users have completed, passed. That's the average course. So I'm going to click again and visit the report itself. So you can immediately see that you have a list of the users that have already started the course but not completed that yet. And in fact, they have started the test and not completed that yet. And then you can see the successful ones, or if somebody had failed, trust me, you could see them here as well. There is a very quick way to identify them by using the chart on the right. And then you can always preview. So for those that have completed it, if I go here, I can preview and I can see the results that somebody has achieved. On that note, I'm not going to say it again. You know that those two buttons, what they can do for you, but I'm going to pass the mic to Mary because she can talk us a little bit more about reports based on content and evaluation.
Thanks. And actually, I would like to just add a note for SCORM reports. I know you have this question already. You might get different results in our report section because SCORM files are designed in an external authoring tool. So sometimes they have been designed to only capture the time spent in a SCORM file. Or if there is a test, you can see also the score. Sometimes I can see customers that have reports where you can actually see the question and answer. It all depends on the settings of your file. So check your settings, then test it, of course. And there you, in our reports, you will find whatever the file is sending to our system. Just keep that in mind. And then under SCORM reports, you can see tests, surveys, and assignments. These are also units that you can create as part of your course, so you can check the knowledge or in order to get some feedback. And let's click on test reports. Here you can see all the tests that I have created. You can see in which course they're part of, how many users have completed a test, how many they have passed, and the average score. We can click on specific tests like the advertising test, the very first one. And again, get more details, we get deeper and we see all the users that have submitted an answer. You see the time and day of submission, their score, the results, and the time they have spent in that unit. Be careful, we capture the time you spend in the unit until its completion. If a learner forgets the unit open on his screen, we will keep capturing this time. So a good advice is to perhaps let them know they just have one take, they have to focus here, just motivate them to spend proper amount of time in that test. You also see an extra column there. This is an extra user field that I have created. So you can see we're international and I have the location here on my screen. Again, under options, you can preview each answer. Export, schedule, we have said it a million times. I will stop saying that now. And the analysis tab, which is very, very useful. You can see actually how the answers are distributed. You can tell, for example, that the second question, we only have received 15 times a correct response. So you might think, why is that? Have I provided enough content? Yes, no. Maybe the question was not clear. Let's see why people are getting confused there, why we have this results here, and let's improve our content.
And apart from the tests, you can do the same into the survey and assignment reports, right?
Yes, exactly, exactly. You download, you preview, you schedule, everything is there, exactly.
Perfect. And apart from the evaluation methods, we have already talked about reports that belong to content that people can take alone. But training can be really exciting if you add instructor-led training units in it. So yes, with TalentLMS, you can create blended learning. And one of the most popular demands that we had when we rolled out the ways that you can create instructor-led training sessions, the question was, do you have any reports about it? We thought about it, we spoke to our developers about it, and we created reports that were introduced in our previous release. So here we have instructor-led training reports that will help you just see the engagement, the attendance, and the way that your users have responded to the live training that you have provided in your blended courses. So let's click on the add to reports and see what we can get here. You see on the left that you have all the instructor-led training units, and these are the units that you create in the courses, which will contain the sessions that you will provide to the users. You can see which course every unit belongs to. And then the registrations, the past, because you can also give feedback to the people that attended your sessions, the average grade of that feedback. And of course, we can always go into the options, for example, in this one, and see more details about the users in that report. So here we had 13 registrations, but only 2 of the people have passed. Don't worry about it. That's not the final result. That is just the 2 people that passed out of the ones that we still have to evaluate. So this instructor here has to do a lot of work. But yet you can see right away from the pie chart here, that's all of the results will be reflected when the instructor continues to grade the users that are still pending for some feedback. But in any case, you can see that this is the grade dates, the status, the grades and gain, the location. And if we go into the sessions, you can see exactly the session that these users have participated in. So in the instructor-led training reports, you can see generic overview of every instructor-led training units containing one or more than one sessions. And in the sessions tab, you can see the details of every specific session, if you have more than one, that people will be able to attend or register for. It's a great way to see results, and it's a great way as well to remind you that you can create blended learning courses with instructor-led training units using different conference tools that we offer under account settings. It's a good idea to explore that because you can connect your own conference tool from the list that is available there, and you can still use your own tool, your own features, see results in the reports. But if you don't have one, don't worry too much. We will be able to use the integrated TalentLMS tool that we have by default. So no matter if you have your own tool or not, you can create instructor-led training units, have blended learning, and see the results that you need into the reports. So what is the final report that everybody needs to see, Mary?
Well, custom reports, and if you have talked to me, you know that this is my favorite feature. But just a note, you can access custom reports and you can use this feature if you are subscribed on a Plus or in a premium plan. So if not, you cannot use it yet. Here you have the option to create a personalized report. We saw already many different types of reports. I'm sure you can get the information that you need from the fixed reports we're offering. But if you want, you can also create something personalized. So let's add a new report and let's see how this works. Well, every time you give a name to report, and you need to do this so we can save that here in order to not have to go through all the steps over and over again, we will save this report and keep it on the list. And then you will choose what kind of report you want to create. It can either be for users, and when we use that tab, it means that we will get information like their name, their email address. You can see an overview of how many assigned courses they have and how many of them are completed. So we see more personal information from that users. Or we can use the Learning Progress tab, so the system can bring information about the course progress. There we can see, of course, our users, but we can also see the titles of our courses, their completion status, the time they spend there. And we're going to use both so you can see how this works. And then we define our rules. You have many different rules you can choose from, and you can actually add up to 5 different rules. And let's explore them a little bit together. There are so many. I feel that the most important is to filter people that belong to a specific branch or a specific group, people that have specific courses, or people that have not logged in for a period of time, people that got a certificate, and people are just active or inactive. You filter all the users that you have. Based on what we will set here, we will generate a brand new report that we will keep here for you. Let's say for now, I want the people that belong in a branch. Let's use the company branch. And I'm going to keep it simple, but if you want, you can add more rules, up to 5 different rules. The relationship between the rules, I want to mention this as well, is and. By this, I mean that I want people that belong to a branch and people that, and I set up the second rule. So both rules must apply at the same time. If you forget this, don't worry, hover your mouse over the info tooltip. We mentioned this there again. And finally, the columns. So what you need on the report. Let's keep their name. So the user first column, let's keep it there, but we can remove the email address. Maybe you don't want to have this type of information there. And let's add one of the extra fields that I've created. You remember I am asking for my users, their location. So it's an extra custom user field that they have on their profile. And I can leave it there. I can move it around, maybe there. It looks better. It's going to be easier for me, and save the report. And let's see our results. That's it. All the people that I want to see, the people that belong to the branch, they're filtered. You see the second column, the location. I've added a column right there, and all the other columns too. I can export this report. So you can download it directly to your desktop, and you can schedule. Maybe this report was not even for you. Maybe the HR has asked a report from you, and you want to send this every week, for example. It's going to be updated, so you don't have to do anything else. This is one type of report, custom report, that we can create regarding users. Let's edit this or create a new one as you want. And let's use the second tab, the learning progress. I want this time to see users and the progress in their courses. I'm going to change a little bit the rules. Let's say the first rule, let's change that belong to a group. I'm going to use a compliance. I have a group compliance training, perfect. And now you can bring information for all the courses they have been assigned to. So if you leave the first option, let the system decide, we will bring their progress from all the courses they have been assigned to currently, or we can select a specific list of courses, courses that belong to groups, or courses that belong to branches. So for example, now I will use belong to list, and let's use, my favorite course, project management, this one, yes. Let's see what we have done so far. I'm gonna look at users that belong to the compliance training, and I'm gonna check what is their progress to a specific course. So a course can be served in many different groups, in many different branches, but now I'm gonna see the progress of the users on that course, only if they belong to a specific group. We're very specific now. And let's work again on the columns. Name, remove the email. I never want to show the email, I don't know. Perhaps we can add the branches. Let's see which branches they belong to. And I want to also see if we have a certificate on this course. Let's use certification, this one. Awesome. Let's save the report, or update this in my case. And here it is. Just a few people that belong to that group. I can see their progress, what's going on in the project management course. I can see their status, whether they have completed, the time they have spent so far, in which branches they belong to, and their certifications. And it's a cool way to easily download now their certificates if you want to. You don't have to enter to each user profile separately. If you have done this, it takes some time. If you have custom reports, just add it in the report, and then you can download it right away. Export, the green button, you can't forget that now. Schedule, of course, but I also want to show you another really cool button, the mass actions. Usually we run a report for a reason. So why we gathered those people here? Maybe you want to do something with the results, and right away you could send them a message if you want to. Only these 3 people will get this message. Or you can add them to a group of courses, add them to another course. So not only you create something personalized, you can also use the results. You can use it as a way to filter quickly your users and then perform a mass action. It will only affect the people of that list.
And so that is a really good tip, because most of the times you might wonder, how can I very quickly do something with a few people that might belong to different branches, different groups, different courses? So the custom reports, if I understand correctly, it's not only a way for you to see data, but it's a way for you to engage with the users. And that is a very cool tip. And on that note, I just wonder, Mary, do you have any other tips that perhaps you can share with us?
Yes, let's pause there for a moment. I have a slide for you. We got a lot of information from our reports today. So what this really tells us, well, when we don't have a lot of engagement, when we don't have people that are completing courses, and probably it's because they don't even know there is a training there. It happens a lot. It's very common. And what you can do there is to notify them. You all have access to the feature I'm going to tell you. Event engine notifications. Use that. Let them know that they have courses assigned to their profiles. If you have, for example, a deadline to your courses, you can also send reminders to users. So that the course is about to expire and they have to hurry up. You can remind them to log in and use the platform, use notifications, let them know what they have to do here. Then the next week we might it might be an issue from our side. We have to check our courses. Maybe we need to update the content. So maybe we need to make it more short, more engaging, and why not? Let's use more interactions, more pictures. Use a combination of different units, not just presentations. It can be very boring after a point. You can have some videos. You can check their knowledge. So let's have a variety of different units and yeah, let them know what they will gain from the course. Use the description of your courses to let them know at the end of the course what kind of skills they will have, why they have to take the course. It's important for them so they know how to implement the knowledge that you have offered to them. And finally, if nothing works, we really have to talk to the people. Talk to the person, see what actually bothers them, understand what stops them from learning. You know your users, it's going to be your employees, it's going to be your partners, your customers, or even people that you don't know, but you will have, maybe you're selling courses. So people that you have to know your audience, and check with them what you have to do to improve your content. Of course, you can have surveys inside your courses, so you can get feedback this way. But let's not forget that we are all people and we can talk to each other, so connect with them.
These are great tips. So thank you so much for sharing them. And especially the last one, sometimes we're trying to identify just by ourselves what's going south, but definitely we will be able to learn more if we actually engage with our people and talk to them. On that note, since we're talking about tips and extras, let me just go back to the reports page. And we have already seen the right side, which is reports. But on top, we have some extra features that we can always talk about. And these bonus features will help you handle your data in a different way than going to your good old report. So the first one is my own favorites, and that is the infographics. The infographics are simply awesome. Let's put it that way. You can create customizable presentation ready reports, and those can have themes. They can have certain colors. They can match the themes that you use into your brand, probably. And these are reports that you can build in just a few minutes. And not only that, you can build them and you can present them. So then let's have a look at how you can create infographics. But before we dive into them, I'm just going to clarify this. Because that is a customizable report as well, you don't need to be in a specific plan to get them. You don't need to be in Plus or Premium like custom reports. You can be in every single plan, even the free trial that we have, and you can create amazing infographics. So that's a customizable report for everybody. So let's go on the three dots here, and you can always create a brand new infographic from scratch. And I have created one before, and this is the one that I have called training results. The moment I click on it, you see that there's a page full of data that change as I scroll further down. You can always edit that. So you can click to enable the editing mode. And the first thing that you can edit is the top section. So when you create or edit an infographic, you have the option to choose your reference point. It can be your entire account, including all of the branches, all of the groups, but it can be a branch. For example, I can create something for the company branch that we talked about before. Or you can do the same with a group. Maybe you want to present results to your auditing body for your compliance training. This is the way to do it. So let's stick with the system, and then you can see the different themes. So hopefully one of those options will match your style and color. The artwork here, it's all about the pie charts and the graphics that we have into the infographics. So these are the details that will make them so unique, no matter how many you create. And then in the reference periods, you see all of the different options that you can work with time-wise. And of course, you have the option to choose your own custom period as well. I'm going to stick to my own settings and just have it as all. So I'm not going to make any change to update, but if you do, just update. And then you can see that you can work with lots of different sections. So every single section is available for editing. And if you are done with that, you can always switch the editor from here, or even if you're further down, you can still switch the editor from there. And now you lock the settings in. You might wonder what participation means. Is that something new? Don't worry, just hover and you see an explanation coming up with a link that can get you to further resources. The engagement, for example, are the active learners that have completed at least one course. So that way, you can always go on top, you can click on the three dots, and you can export that infographic. And by exporting, you will be able to see an image downloaded at the bottom of my screen. The idea here is that you can walk in the meeting, you can present to your audience these results, and they would look exactly like that. And trust me on that, nobody will know if it took you 10 minutes, 10 days, 2 days, a month project, because nobody knows that you have consolidated reports or not. This is a really good way not only to present your results, but to compare them as well. So you can click here to compare, and you can compare them with last week, last month. I'm going to go for last year. And immediately you see the difference in the percentages that you see at the bottom of every different part of the section. So I think that's really cool. And the next thing is a training matrix. The training matrix, you might have seen it before because that was one of the key features that we recently released. And here you can see at a glance who has not taken courses. And these will be people that are in the gray boxes. For example, Clay here has not taken the Assess the Needs courses because they are not assigned in that. In the blue, you can see who has already been assigned to the course, but not started the course. For example, Kate here, in the same course, she has been part of the course, but not started taking the training. And in the orange, you can see the progress of the users in the courses that correspond with the boxes. And when you hover, you can see the exact percentage that this user has completed of that said course. And of course, it's a little bit universal now, right? The green is the successful ones, and the reds will be the ones that have not passed the course. So that is a great way not only to see the results in one page, but always you can hover and click on the users and go to that user's report, and you can go and click on the courses and go to that specific course report as well. And then the final extra feature is the timeline here. The timeline is the diary of your entire account. Simple as that. It is a really good way to see all of the actions that have happened since the very first time that you created your TalentLMS portal. And you can eliminate the filters, and you will be able to see that at the bottom we have, and probably you will have more because that is just our test account, but always you can see here thousands and hundreds of thousands of pages as well. And it's reasonable. That's why we have elaborate filters. You can work with specific periods of time. You can choose the event, for example, see who has created a course or has deleted a course. You can track the progress of the instructors and the admins mostly, since all of the rest of the reports are tailored to reflect the learner's progress. The timeline is your tool to work with the progress of the instructors and of the administrators as well. And with that said, I'm just gonna go back to the homepage and leave Mary tell us more about the instructors and the learners.
Guys, that's it. We're done with admin reports. You saw a lot of things, but we couldn't leave out instructors and learners from reports. So if you're an admin or if you're just a trainer, so you're using the instructor role mostly for your everyday tasks, you can also see reports this way. Let's switch to the instructor role for now. Reports are available within your courses. Because you're the instructor, let's enter a course. And then on the right side of the screen, you see reports. So instructors can see reports for their courses and the users assigned to them. Again, you get an overview that you can export and schedule. You can also view the other tabs, users, scorm, and there will be more tabs if I had here tasks and assignments. So I can view information for the users of my courses. We're not going to go in more detail. You have seen this already with the admin reports, but you know now that instructors can also check reports. And finally, learners. Learners can access reports for themselves. Of course, we don't want them to see what's going on with other users. So they can check their own progress. So this is their part of reports. They can see again an overview, how many courses they have, how many of them are completed. They can export their own report if they want to. And we can again change tabs and see courses, certificates. So it's not mandatory that you have to download the certificates for them and then send it to them. They can download it alone. Theo, you don't have any certificates, so you have to do more training. And that's it.
So that's great. Definitely will take some more training, maybe not today, but maybe tomorrow. But the idea here is this, to get together and show you how you can export every piece of data and how you can handle and gather the data that you need. So with that said, we have looked at everything that you can physically click into that report section. We have seen the reports that the instructors can access and how learners can track their own progress as well. And I can see already that we have a lot of questions. That button is blinking. So I'm going to pass the mic to Mary again and answer your questions live.
Perfect. Time for your questions. I want to thank Elizabeth. She has answered so many already. So let's answer some of them live. I just want to mention that we haven't received just questions. We have received so nice feedback and we have noted down. I noticed that a lot of people are asking to schedule reports at a specific time because now you can choose the time, the day. So I have added this on my notes and I will pass it on to the development team. Thank you very much. And I have a question from Thomas Laziano. Is there a method to perform a bulk download of certificates? I wanted to answer this live because it's something that we are considered to add. So right now you cannot bulk download all the certificates of your users. The only way, well, that can save you some time is to use custom reports. If you have this on your subscription, make sure you run report, check the learning progress and add the certification column so you can quickly download the certificates. But again, Thomas, this is for you. I will note down your email and we have already an internal task that we're discussing with our developers team to implement this. So it's good to know that more people still want this feature. Another question from Max Perez. Is there a limit to the number of rows listed in a custom report? No, Max, there is not a limit. It really depends on how many users you have, how many columns you want to have, and you can still export your report. If I'm not mistaken, around 1,000 lines, and it really depends on the number of columns you have selected to have. We don't download the report right away. If you have a lot of data, the report will break down into smaller reports. So you will get a zip file to your email address. So there is no limit. That's what I want to clarify. But even if you cannot download the report at the moment because you have passed the limit that we have set internally, you will get a zip report, a zip file with many small reports. We will break this down, even if you have thousands of data and lines. Let's see. I have a question from Mohammed Gita. As an administrator, I have an option to enter directly in a user's account. If everybody, if they're not familiar with that, let me show you this. If we go to users, you have the option to log in as any user as you want. I'm not going to do this now, but this little button allows you to log in as another user. You actually impersonate them. So the question from Mohammed is that when I log in as another user, I am able to perform courses in their place, and this information is not tracked in the audit trail. No, Mohammed, this is not true actually. If you're logging in as a learner, it's important that you're using learners if you want to test something or complete a course. All the information are saved in reports. So even if you log in as a user, this will be tracked in your final reports, yes. We don't track the progress of instructors. So if you're logging in as someone else who is an instructor, yeah, in that case, we don't track their progress. We only track the progress of learners. And another question from Kyle. It's not that much related to reports, but maybe more people would like to know this. Is there a way to add new users without having them to sign in themselves? So right now in account settings and users, if we can go there, Probably on your account, Kyle, you have selected a direct sign up option. So let's change that and use the manually from admin option. It's better if you add the users manually, if you don't want them to sign up alone, so you can create their credentials. We can add users one by one. You can go to users, add a user and add them one by one, or you can use the import option. And actually with just a spreadsheet, you add all the users and you import the file, and we will add thousands of users if you have an Excel file with thousands of people in the system right away. Of course, they can get a notification only if this is available about what is their username and their password, so they can log in into the system. So they don't have to sign up alone. We can register them and they can get a message about this action. Let's see. Other questions. Can admin reports be visible to branch admins, for example? Another question from Max Perez. Yes, actually, we have spent our time showing you reports that you can access on the main domain. But if you are a branch administrator, let's pretend for a moment we are branch admins. I'm going to switch to a branch. You will have this view. Every time you log in, you probably have this view. You see only 4 features: users, courses, groups, and reports. The reports that you can see are the about users that belong to that specific branch. So you don't know what's going on in other branches, in other departments or customers. The branch admin is responsible for his own users, and that's why he can only see and track what's going on with his team. Users, courses, groups, everything is there, but custom reports. We have removed this on purpose so they are not able to find information for other branches. I hope this helps, Max. Good. Is there a way to schedule infographics? Sorry, I don't have your name. For the moment, no. If I'm not mistaken, when you go to infographics, you're able to download. So let's look at the buttons there. We can export, but you cannot schedule. So it's an interesting idea, actually. So let me note this down. Schedule also infographics. And if there are more people that feel that the same way, please let us know. We're noting down your email so you're notified when this feature will be implemented. And we can notify you when there is also an update. So if you have ideas, just share them with our team. You can talk to the support team directly if you want to. Using the help button on the right side of the screen, you can contact support. And even if you don't have a question and you just have a suggestion, please, everything is welcome. We're improving our system constantly based on your ideas. And people are asking when you will get the recording. Today you will get the recording of this session. So thank you that you have registered. Thank you for your questions. After the session, you will get a copy. Let's see. There are so many questions. I'm sorry, I'm trying to filter them a little bit. How can I manage all the students of a client organization? This is a question from Manuel Mazen. I understand, Manuel, that right now you have a company that you're training and they have their own students. So they're actually using your courses and you're training them on your courses. I would recommend, again, using branches. So if you have a separate audience that you would like to train, use branches, add the users there, and then you can track their progress either from branch reports, or you can actually log into that branch, become the branch administrator, and you will see reports only for those people. I hope it helps. Let's see, can I see custom fields in reports? A question from Alan. Well, let's see how you can see, first of all, custom user fields. And let me explain to the rest what is a custom user field. In account settings, you will be able to find at the bottom of the screen the option to add extra fields either on user profiles or on courses. For example, right now, if you try to add a user, you will probably see just a field to add their name, their email address, their surname, and that's it. But if you want to know more information, like their location or what is their job role, in which company they work for, you can add extra fields. So you just give it a name, select how you're going to collect the information. And what's important to see that on reports is to make it visible on reports. If it's not mandatory, of course, maybe we'll have people that they will try to skip that field. If you want to make sure you get this information from everybody, make it mandatory. Everybody will have to update this new field and make it visible in reports. And that's how you could see more data on my reports because I was using already custom user fields. Can I delete items from the timeline? This is a question from Aston. No, actually. Some people love this feature, some people hate this because they cannot delete actions from the timeline. So if we go to reports timeline, here you can see all the actions that have ever happened from the beginning of the account. You can see who deleted a user, who updated a course, when a user logged in. Everything is saved here, and we cannot delete an event. So there's always proof that something happened in the system from the beginning of your account. Let's see. Can I generate a report that the user created by whom? This is a question from Lynn. Lynn, I understand that you want to see who created a report. So probably you're referring to custom reports. We will be able to see this action in the timeline. So for example, you see that one of my most recent actions actually is that I've created a custom report. So if you want to see who initiated a custom report, it can be found on the timeline. I hope this helps. Let's see. Do administrators have access to edit or update content in another instructor's course? This is a question from Vanessa Rose. Yes, Vanessa, yes. If I'm an admin, I can go anytime to courses. So, and become a member of the course. I can click on a course, go to the users tab, and add myself to that course. I'm using Theo's account. As you can see, Theo is already an instructor. If I'm assigned as an instructor to the course, this means that I can also make changes. And there are 3 people here assigned as instructors. This means that everybody can work on that course and add his own content. So teamwork, we're working on the same courses. If you don't want them to be able to change the content of other instructors, I would recommend again using branches. So I can only see specific courses. I cannot see courses that are not included in my branch, so I'm not able to change anything.
These are some great questions that you all have. So thank you so much for providing those questions. Before we get to the final one, because I know there's time for one more, I just want to say a big thank you to Juan and to Alan, I think as well, that have provided some nice words of encouragement. So thank you for that. And hopefully we will keep doing the sessions as well. So Mary, do you think you can do one more question?
Yes. I have a quick one. This is a question from Chris Fan. Is there a way to download or export the training matrix report? It's actually a very new feature. We had this just in our previous release. We got a lot of feedback for you, and it's something that we definitely want to add. And we're actually testing right now. So if it all goes good with our testing, very soon you will have the option to export this. I'm not promising anything yet. We're testing that. But yes, we're planning to add this feature. Hopefully we will see it in the first week of July.
Thank you so much, Mary. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, as well, for doing the behind the scenes work, which is always really valued. And on that note, I would like to share with you our direct contact details. So you can always drop us a question at trainingteam@talentlms.com. We are here to help, and we are here to answer any kind of question. So that being really a question, that being a feedback request, that being a feature request, that being anything that you want, let us know and we will be able to get back to you and help as much as possible. I would like to thank again Mary and Elizabeth and all of you for being part of the session. So stay tuned for receiving the recording in a little while. And with that, if you want to share your feedback, we will be able to have a little survey that's hopefully we want to see what we're doing good and where we can always improve.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.